Darren, I know it's always a bit harder at the moment given the run to maybe look at the positives, but with training this week, has there been a bit more of a bounce on the basis of some of the good bits from last Saturday?
Yeah, I think Monday morning we went through. We let the players sit through and watch the game themselves and come up with what they felt was good and not so good, which was a good exercise. Look, ask anyone, any manager. You have to try and get positives from every game, especially when you're on a bad run of games. You can't continually showing the players all the negative stuff because it's not going to be rewarding that. I've got to be really positive with them, and we went through all what I've got to do is take the positives out of the game, continue that if we can, and then obviously improve on the stuff that we didn't do well enough. There was a real switch in the performance from first half to second half, and we have to find out why. We've gone through that in detail in terms of what was the difference between both halves, what changed about us. I knew all the answers in terms of watching it back, but then obviously we get the input from the players, so that was good. And then we just go and work on it on the training ground.
Yeah, and certainly from the outside looking in, one of the things that was impressive about last weekend was the sense of togetherness, because it would be easy at this stage for the players not to have that with some of the difficulties, but it really looks as though everyone's still playing for one another.
Yeah, I think you can see that. I think the chairman commented on it as well in the week about no one's waving the white flag, and we're certainly not. I think you can see a team that's sticking together, trying their best, obviously low on confidence and maybe a little bit of belief, which suggests some of the things you're seeing, like perhaps missed chances, not shooting when we should do. That hopefully comes back when we get a win and we can get a run of wins. So it plays a huge part in the performance of our player, the psychological side of it. And that's why at the moment my job's to make sure we go through all the positive stuff with them, have a lot of one-on-one chats with them, and make sure that they're ready and they're right mentally to cope with the pressure we're under.
Yeah, and funnily enough, you spoke this time last week about just needing that little break in the game on Saturday, and you pretty much got everything except the little break. That was the one bit that didn't happen.
Yeah, but we've got to keep hoping we'll get that break, whatever it may be, to turn these results around. One thing's for sure in football: you don't keep on winning games, and you don't keep on losing games. There has to be a break eventually, and we're hopeful that we know that it's got to be very, very soon. We're fully aware of that, but we're still hopeful, and we still have that belief that we can turn this around.
Yeah, tactically with the midfield diamond, all seems to be a formation where if you can build some momentum with it, it gets better and better, and you start to see the better levels of movement and the understanding. So to do it last weekend and to have such a strong platform, I don't know what you're thinking for this weekend. It could be any number of things, but with the diamond, it must have been good to come straight in off the bat and to see it work that well.
Yeah, but we had a full week to prepare. We had a full week to work on it. It's a formation I like. It's a formation I know very well, obviously, and it's a formation I know we can play with the personnel we have. So we felt that the opening period of the game would be important due to the fact that we felt Forest wouldn't know that we were going to play it and would have worked on something else. And I think I said, after the game or during this week, perhaps if we do play it again, then Millwall will have looked at the game you would have thought against Forest and thought, okay, if they do play a diamond, this is what we can do. But that formation that we started with on Saturday could play 4 different formations. So whatever team I pick, I always try and get it so we can manage to go quickly to something else and change the dynamics of a game. And I think that's really, really important, because especially at the moment, you may work all week on something, and perhaps because of the conference or whatever, or the game doesn't go as planned, I'll need to work quickly and move quickly to move players in different positions to try and get control of the game and back. But I think it's really important this in every game, but this game we have to be aggressive from on the front foot. We're playing against a very aggressive team, but we have to be aggressive in the sense that still have composure in the play, but be aggressive with the ball, without it. And if we can get ahead, because I think that would make a difference and give the players the platform with the confidence to go and have a real performance.
Yeah, I think virtually without exception, Millwall's games this season have been really, really tight. So it almost goes without saying, doesn't it, the importance of that first goal?
Yeah, a lot of the games in the Championship are very tight, and that's why you get so many draws each weekend or each midweek game. There's a lot of draws in the Championship. So we know that it's going to be another tough game. We know that they're going to bring a big support. They're very vocal. I think that's a good thing. I think the atmosphere will be very good. And they're a good team. I've watched them. They're a good team. They've got a lot of energy and a lot of intensity in their team.
And of course, it's worth remembering as well, even though we've had a number of away games of late, and maybe that starts to distort the picture a little bit, trying to focus on the fact that generally you have enjoyed playing at home, and it's been a relatively enjoyable experience.
Yeah, there's not many games I can think, if any, where we haven't been in them, and unlike obviously away from home, the next one's at home. That's all we can focus on. But yeah, we've been in pretty much every game at home, and obviously we want that to be the case on Saturday.
With the team news, Joel Randall presumably gets to the end of his isolation, but is it too tight for him really to be involved?
Yeah, he's done some weight sessions and all the rest of it at home, but yeah, for him to go 10 days without really doing anything at all would be a big ask. Kwame Poko, he'll be back involved though. He's okay. He's trained all week and trained very, very well, so he's in a good place. But for Joel, I think it'll be the following week.
Yeah, is Joel all right though, having had his COVID?
Yeah.
Is he feeling okay?
No, he's fine, thanks. He's had no real symptoms and no real effects, and he's young. He's obviously picked it up, and he'll be back with us tomorrow, and then we'll get him up to speed for the following week.
And with Kwame, has he got to wear a brace on his hand or anything like that?
Yeah, he's got to wear a thing that a hand specialist made for him, but he's trained all week with it, and it's not a problem. And the training sessions have been good. They've been intense, so there's been competitive sessions in there, so he's had to deal with all that. So no, he'll be absolutely fine.
With Joe Ward, came out of the side after the Blackburn game, and then you mentioned
Yes.
the other day he's had an injury and illness as well. Has he been able to train the past few days?
Yeah, he's trained. He's got over his illness. He felt ill last Friday. Obviously missed the game at Forest, but then was back with us on the Monday. So there's another one that could be included.
Yeah, so all things considered, heading into the Christmas period as it stands, not looking too bad then with the selection and availability.
Yeah, but the way it's gone this week, let's just get through this weekend and see where we're at. But certainly it's we're going to need everyone. It's quite a busy schedule, not as busy as I've had before over Christmas periods. It's a little bit more spread out this year, but all the same, it's still a busy period.
Yeah, and the bottom line really is, and I know you mentioned it before, but ideally you need to get that win, get that performance, and then it needs to be the start of something, doesn't it? The one win in isolation won't do much for you.
No, but let's get the first win, and that's all we need to concentrate on. I've got a good idea how many wins we're going to need over the next 25 games to survive, and we've got to try and obviously get off the mark against Millwall on Saturday.